Reah explored the structure of the industrial landscape of Newburn in an evocative abstract painting inspired by the artist Charles Sheeler. Such explorations are very important in locating the project both geographically and conceptually. In this painting, Reah captured the genius loci of the place. Reah's early concept models explored the tectonic nature of the surrounding architecture. They were very much concerned with the interplay of structure and space, as well as the mapping of physical memories and the former structures on the site. Wetlands play an essential part in the regulation of river flow. They provide a habitat for plants, insects and birds. The River Tyne, in the medieval period, flowed directly through large areas of wetlands. Their removal to acquire land for industry and agriculture significantly reduced the area's biodiversity. The onset of the Industrial Revolution transformed the river into a great artery of traffic and a thriving centre of industry, which despoiled its natural beauty. By the mid-1800s there was a massive industrial urban sprawl. The riverbanks, meadows and fields became booming with shipyards, docks, factories and mines. In the 1900s the river was poisoned by the waste products of industry. Untreated sewage from 800,000 people also flowed straight into the river. The river was effectively dead for nearly 150 years, with no plant or animal species being able to live in amongst the pollution. Pollution levels remain stable in the river. However, there are a number of new threats to the biodiversity. The mitten crab from China has been responsible for the reduction in numbers of native freshwater crabs in the river. The American signal crayfish is also virulent and has wiped out the native white claw crayfish in large parts of the country. The mink, imported from America for the fur season, competes directly with the otter. Its presence has contributed to the otter now being endangered. The alien plant species are perhaps of even more concern. The Japanese knotweed, the alpine pennycress, and the Himalayan balsam are particularly rampant in British waters.
Thinking of ways that you could connect the two and how this is already kind of happening from things that you can kind of see.
I mean, these are kind of, it's interesting to see this kind of bridges and there's these vertical markers and these vectors that go across the landscape and the role of the river.
Reah developed a working brief for the facility. She recognised that the schedule of accommodation would need to be expanded as the project developed. Reah produced an initial scheme located on the banks of the Tyne, recalling the linearity of the man-made structures that used to traverse the landscape in the Victorian period. Reah developed a section of this initial scheme to include additional floors to accommodate the schedule of rooms. The panopticon-type structure on the roof also added some articulation to the scheme. She also developed a plan diagram which quickly enabled her to put together a sketch plan. Working between plan and section, she built a physical model. This body of work was discussed in her first design tutorial. The making of physical models to explore ideas is an essential activity for architecture students. Physical models can be constructed at any scale and from a range of materials. Model making has two primary purposes, as a learning tool and as communication. The former is used to explore and develop the scheme in 3 dimensions, considering characteristics such as form, space, skin, structure, and materials. Different types of models are built at different stages in the design process, depending upon what is being explored. The physical model may consider the interplay of one or more characteristics and be at any scale. The use of particular materials might also help communicate the concept. As one of Reah's objectives was to bring together the facilities either side of the river, a building on the south side limited this possibility.
Thinking actually about the entire building kind of straddling the river in its own right, and then perhaps there being some other kind of, just some way of connecting both sides of the river really.